Do you like NBA basketball? Of course you do. That's why you're here. Do you like watching teams combine to shoot 47 free throws in the second half and 5 different stoppages for reviews in the final 13 minutes of the game? Oh, wait, you don't? Oh. Well, you're going to hate this game then. The Toronto Raptors march into Dallas, beat the Mavericks 127-116. They improved to 4-4 on the year. The Mavericks fall to 6-2. It was their first home loss on the season. And this one was rough. This one was rough for the boys in blue, for the Dallas Mavericks. No Derek Lively in this game without their rookie center. And my God, Derek Lively, send this game to the NBA. Send this game to voters for Rookie of the Year voting. Because this just proves that Derek Lively might just be the second or third most important player on the Dallas Mavericks, because without him, the Mavericks got absolutely torched. How did the Dallas Mavericks manage to give up 127 points to a Toronto Raptors team that entered the game as the 25th best offense in the NBA, that entered the game as the second worst half-court offense in the NBA? Well, they gave up 72 points in the paint. A massive, massive number. What's the reasoning behind this? They're just too tiny. I mean, there's really no explanation needed beyond that. They're just too small. This is a matchup nightmare for the Mavericks, and we've seen it now over the course of the past 2 seasons. These are teams, the Toronto Raptors, the Denver Nuggets, who the Mavericks have already lost to this season, the Minnesota Timberwolves. These are teams, these bigger teams, these lengthier teams. These are teams that are going to give the Mavericks matchup nightmares. And last night, case in point. Grant Williams, you guys know I love the guy. Grant, I'm looking forward to our little beach get-together. Unfortunately, though, he is only 6'6", right? He's not that big. Now, to his credit, he does a very, very good job when matched up against players bigger than him, but Siakam just kind of had his way in this game. And credit to Siakam, man. It's been a slow start to the season for him offensively, but it was clearly the Raptors' game plan to get Siakam going in this one, and that he did. Started a little face-up, then just goes right at him, body on him. Just no real contest here on this shot. Dwight Powell comes to help. The help's a little bit late, and the help's not very good, and it's an easy basket for Siakam. Here's another one here over Grant Williams. The Mavericks turn the ball over. It's a bad possession. Jason Kidd looks like he wants to redact it himself, and now the Raptors going quick off of an inbounds. Siakam just gets position on Grant Williams. The help is very lazy, not really there, and this little... Actually, there's no contest at all by Maxey. I thought he was going to try and contest that, but there was no contest at all. That's just way too easy for Siakam right there. Maxey's got to help on that shot. Otto Porter Jr. shoots a 3. So fucking what? Is that who I think I see on the floor? Richaun Holmes making his season debut? Oh, it is. All right, what are the Raptors going to do? You know, Richaun Holmes is a big, but unfortunately, he's not that big. And Siakam just immediately attacks him on a post-up, and Richaun Holmes just doesn't have the foot speed to keep up, unfortunately. Well, I can tell you right now, this is not the matchup that the Mavericks want right here. Siakam looking to seal off Tim Hardaway Jr. in the post. Once that happens, it's over. Tim Hardaway Jr. wants a 3 seconds. Yeah, you're not getting that, buddy. They go into Siakam in the post, little face up. There's really no rim help. The rim help is Richaun Holmes. I mean, that's just a little bit too easy right there for Siakam over Tim Hardaway Jr. Again, a matchup that I can't say you want to see. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, we see that matchup yet again. Tim Hardaway Jr. guarding Pascal Siakam. Why are we seeing this so much? Siakam, the easiest job in the world, stealing him off, turning and hitting immediately, just attacking as soon as he catches the basketball. There's no rim protection whatsoever. There's no help defense. Yeah, it's a problem. Just to give a little context into how badly the Mavericks got torched in the paint last night, I thought offensively they played pretty well. This is a good Toronto Raptors defensive team, right? Nick Nurse is gone. He was the defensive terrorist who just did crazy things. They're still a very good defensive team with very good defensive personnel. And the Mavericks, I thought, played pretty well offensively. They shot over 40% from 3 on over 40 attempts. Last year, teams that met that criteria won 73% of the time, and the Raptors did not shoot very well at all, 11 of 36 from 3. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Last year, teams that shot 40% from 3 on 40 attempts or more, while their opponents shot under 33% from 3, went 44-9. So this is a game that you're not supposed to lose. But the Mavericks had no resistance whatsoever in the paint. And because of that, the Toronto Raptors did whatever they wanted offensively. These are games that are a little bit frustrating because you win the half-court battle. In fact, the Mavericks have yet to lose a half-court battle this season. They are very, very good in the half-court. 103 points per possession in the half-court. That's the best half-court offense in the NBA. They give up 95 points per 100 possession in the half-court. So that's a good differential right there. But the Mavericks struggled to keep the game in the half-court last night. 25% of the Raptors' possessions came in transition. Some of these off of steals, but most of these off of live ball rebounds. Off of live ball rebounds, the Raptors got out and ran 48% of the time. You know how insane of a number that is. Nearly half of the time the Raptors got a live ball rebound, they were able to get a transition opportunity on the other end, and they scored 1.4 points per possession in these opportunities. That's just really, really porous defense. That's just kind of inexcusable stuff, regardless of who's not playing. I just don't understand why this Mavericks team is as bad as they are in transition, especially off of rebounds. Like, I don't understand it. These are not plays you're supposed to give up that easily. Luca misses his three. Now, I just want to say, this is not really Luca's responsibility to get back on defense after shooting this this wing three, right? But teams, we've seen it this year. They know, all right, Luca shoots that step back three on the wing. We got a really good chance to get out in transition if this is a miss. If this is a miss, Luca tries to follow his miss. I can't say I love that, especially with the personnel you have. You're not going to get that rebound more often than not. And it leads to this opportunity here in transition. Mavericks had a numbers disadvantage, and you got guys that don't even know what the fuck's going on, and OG Anunoby gets a dunk. This is another just way too easy of a look off of a miss. So you can see right here, the Mavericks are up 8. Like, life is good. We're all vibing out. Oh, man, the Mavericks are going to have an easy win tonight. This is great. It wasn't great. There's nothing great. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't very good, though. It definitely wasn't great. Josh Green misses a 3. I like that shot. All right, long rebound. These are tough. Josh Green sells out. Just unfortunate right here in Gary Trent Jr. off of a very, very lazy play by Luca. Luca, instead of contesting, decides he wants to swipe at it, and it's an easy layup. Just can't really have that. More torching by Pascal Siakam. He really pulled the Mavericks' pants down and gave him a little bit of a spanking here. Derrick Jones Jr. gets a good look. Great pass by Luca. We live with that shot. Misses. Scotty Barnes, what a tremendous rebound. Ball's poked loose, and in transition, Mavericks just don't get deep enough. They don't get back enough, and Siakam in easy lane to the rim and one. Can't have it. And this one was pretty much the dagger right here. The Raptors up 12, 6.5 minutes left. The Mavericks pretty much have to play a perfect game from this point onwards. Oh, look at this stat right here down. You see it? Points to the paint, 68-30. That's not a number you love. But you got Luca here working on Siakam. And, you know, the footwork, Siakam playing some great individual defense. Luca gets a good look out of it, though. Misses. Scotty with the rebound. Full head of steam. Nobody stops ball. Very, very lazy transition defense here by Luca. And it leads to an and one. Game pretty much over. I mean, the game was essentially over already, but that really iced it. It's going to be hard to win any game when you give the opposing team 15 more shots, whether that's off turnovers, which have been a problem for the Mavericks early in games this year, or rebounds. And offensive rebounds came to bite the Mavericks in the ass yet again last night. I really hate to do this because I know I'm just going to get screamed at here in the comments by pointing this out several different times, but Luca, man, we got to do a better job here. You just have to. Horrible, horrific shot by Gary Trent Jr. How are we not getting a body on that? And fortunately for the Mavericks, it leads to a miss from OG Anunoby, but that's just really lazy stuff there by Luca, man. Really lazy. Got to put a body on Scotty. What's going on? The Mavericks are running this 4-guard lineup that they absolutely love to run. Maxi's the only big out on the floor, and he's guarding Scotty Barnes on an island. Scotty Barnes, you know, a tough long 2. We definitely live with the results there. He misses. Now let's just pause. Is this what you want to see with 3 guards on the floor? Chris Boucher already boxing out Tim Hardaway Jr.? Yeah, probably not what you want to see. Easy offensive rebound, easy putback. That's just really a personnel problem right there. This was more of a pretty good effort play by Scotty Barnes than like a breakdown for the Mavericks. And just a shout out to Scotty Barnes. Didn't score well in this game, didn't shoot well, but I thought he really had an impact on this game. Here you see OG's going to get a really good look for 3. Good screen there by Pirtle to prevent the closeout. And just Scotty Barnes goes up and gets it, tips it out of bounds. Raptors ball. Luca wanted a challenge. I think that on the replay, this did kind of look like it went off of Scotty Barnes. But either way, the effort there leading to a second chance for the Toronto Raptors. 15 offensive rebounds for the Raptors. And this is similar to the game against the Nuggets. This is a game where on paper, you're supposed to lose the rebounding battle. Okay, we can live with that. But some of these offensive rebounds just boil down to players on the court not putting bodies on guys they're supposed to be putting bodies on, not boxing out, giving up lazy rebounds. Siakam had a hilarious game in this one, right? He was the beneficiary of the Mavericks' lack of size. 31 points in this one on 15 of 25 from the field. So not like the most efficient game. He only had 1 free throw, made 0 threes. Going back to 2010, this has only happened 8 times that a player has scored 30 or more points on 1 or fewer free throws and 0 threes. So just a hilarious game for Siakam, who was just torching the Mavericks in the paint area. The Mavericks defensively did a pretty good job against Scotty Barnes, who's having just an incredible start to the season. Really looks like he's having a breakout for the Toronto Raptors. They held him to 14 points on 26% shooting. Those are both season lows for him. But I still thought he played a really good game. He had a season high 14 rebounds, 6 6 of those offensive rebounds, a season-high 4 steals. He was wreaking havoc on this game, despite the fact that he wasn't really scoring points. And while we're just focusing on the negatives really quickly here for the Mavericks, I'm monitoring something here. I'm monitoring something for Luca, because you look at his numbers, and it was 31 points. That's fine. He did go 11 of 26 from the field. It wasn't the most efficient night for Luca, and I just thought he was missing shots that he normally would make. But one of the things I'm watching here is I thought defensively he was really bad last night. And I think a lot of it did boil down to effort. And I'm just worried that this might spark a trend, because it's a few games in a row now where I haven't thought Luka's looked particularly great defensively, where earlier in the season I thought he looked really good, really active. So these are plays here that you really can't have, right? I know Luka is pretty good in the passing lanes. He's pretty good at generating turnovers and steals. At this point in the game, you can't be doing this, especially on a type of pass like this where you have no protectors behind you. There's no one else protecting the rim. Luka gambles on a pass for no real reason, and it just leads to an OG Anunoby wide open dunk. Tim Hardaway Jr., I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got put on a poster, Tim. That was not your fault. Tim's tried his hardest. This might look like Luka playing, active defense and trying to get a steal. To me, this is lazy defense. This is not wanting to contest. This is not wanting to get in a defensive stance and actually defend. It's wanting to gamble for a steal. And you can't really have it in a game where you're missing pretty much your only rim protector on the team. So just something to monitor there. I could give him a pass for 1 or 2 game stretch where it's not as active and energetic as he was earlier in the season, but it needs to turn around here for the Mavericks. Like this can't be a trend. And Josh Green, a team worst -21, 1 of 3 from the field, only 17 minutes in this game. That's a season low. His minutes have been steadily decreasing over the last 4 games. Just something to keep an eye on, man. Just something to monitor. Hilarious possession here. Hilariously sad. ATO after a timeout. You could tell Josh Green, I think, is supposed to set a screen right there for Luca to get OG off of him and get Otto Porter switched on. We can rewind. Again, whenever I rewatch games, I love looking at the bench reaction to things. Immediately, Josh Green just goes to the corner without setting a screen. Jason Kidd pissed off. Luca pissed off. All right, Luca finally. Remember, this is after a timeout, okay? So the Mavericks drew up this play. Here comes the screen now, and instead of Luca getting a mismatch, he's getting trapped. There's 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and Josh Green doesn't even put a shot up when he gets the pass. I will say Josh Green got pulled from the game pretty much right after this. So, again, just something to keep an eye on. Maxi Kleba, 0 shot attempts in this game. He did shoot 8 free throws. He made 4, 50%. That's not a number we like. But it wasn't all bad for the Mavericks. I thought, when the game slowed down, I thought their defense was actually not half bad. Again, I thought, as I said earlier, I thought offensively they played fine in this game. But Derrick Jones Jr. continues to have an incredible start to the season for the Mavericks and is really solidifying himself as a player for this team, a real key rotational piece. 15 points in this game, 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep. I really like his offensive chemistry with both Luca and Kyrie. He's just a very, very smart cutter. This is a play that our good friend Iztok over on Twitter pointed out, and this is just a really smart cut by Derrick Jones Jr. from the wing. He could tell that the Siakam's got his back turned to the play. He's got an easy cutting lane. Kyrie, beautiful pass. Kyrie's playmaking, man, been very, very good so far this season, and Derrick Jones Jr. is right there to reap the benefits of Kyrie Irving attacking, sucking in the defense. Beautiful work. Another beautiful Kyrie to Derrick Jones Jr. connection. Siakam sinking off of Derrick Jones Jr. to help on to Kyrie. And instead of just sitting on the 3-point line, he attacks, gets the pass, finishes at the rim. And he was plus 11 in an 11-point loss. And I thought defensively, he was really the Mavericks' only hope in this game. Siakam scored 19 points on 18 shots when Derrick Jones Jr. was on the floor. We can live with that. That's not very efficient offense. And when your offense is as good as the Mavericks' offense is, we can live with a player doing that. But 12 points on 6 of 7 shooting when Derrick Jones Jr. was off the floor. Now, Derrick Jones Jr. wasn't on Siakam the entire time, but I don't think that stat is just meaningless. I really don't. So anyways, unless Omax has a Jaden Hardy-esque rookie season where he starts to get more and more playing time and is a real contributor by, February or March, or the Mavericks trade for a legitimate wing and some more size, these are games that are going to happen, right? Teams that have length, teams that have size are going to pull the Mavericks pants down and give them a little spanking on the behind. Okay, that's what we're going to have to expect over the course of the season, unfortunately. But the Mavericks are still 6-2. They've taken care of business against teams they're supposed to take care of business against. Granted, they were a 5.5-point favorite in this game, so they should have taken care of business. It's still been a very good start to the season. And one of the things is, you see what the problems are. It's not like there are 17 different things the Mavericks need to do to get to the finish line. They need more size. They need a more traditional backup big, a third string big who can step up in Lively's role when Lively can't play or is in foul trouble. Because I like Dwight Powell. I like Dwight Powell as a change of pace from Derek Lively, but he can't be the Derek Lively replacement. Rashawn Holmes can't be the Derek Lively replacement. And also shout out to the Raptors. I predicted that they would finish 14th in the Eastern Conference. Now, in my defense, I thought that this would be the year that they would blow it up. And I still think that they do probably blow it up before the trade deadline. And since they owe the Spurs a top 10 protected pick this year, that they would just bottom out in an effort to keep their pick. That's still on the table. They're only 4-4, but they're better than I thought they would be. For sure. They're definitely better than I thought they would be. Anyways, my closing statement, Luca stands, Kyrie stands. The Civil War ends now. All right, we need a peace treaty. This shit's gotten ridiculous. It's gotten out of hand. No one wants to open up Twitter and see these wars going on every single fucking day. Figure it out. The team's 6-2. Get your head out of the damn gutter.